You're now tuned in to the Hourglass Podcast. Let's go! The show that puts a twist on the 5 W's. Yeah. B-Lo, Rated R, bringing you current events, business promotions.
Every time you see me, you see money.
Sports, laughter, and our main question for the last W. Now, let's get in tune.
So if anybody ever actually asks me what do I think, it's simple. To me, it has no fear. You're liable to do anything if you don't have any fear. Then you mix that without being educated with what's really going on out here. Now you ponder. Now you dipping in no respect. All right? Wow. So now you mix all that up and with the drugs, and you add the drugs, and then now what you got
on the book, the drugs, everything.
Now what you got?
That's it.
So now you got a ticking time bomb now. So So everything you said was correct. Exactly correct. So, but I just believe that it's just the fear factor of it. They don't have it. So what? They'll drive around with 6-7 guns in the car. So what?
Yeah, you're
so
you're
what?
Right. They don't care at all.
Police pull us over. They just pull us over.
No place. They don't care church. They don't care where they are. They'll turn up anywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just like. Something else, I don't know if you all noticed, but like a lot of times I look at a lot of the movies that I see on Amazon Prime or Tubi. I enjoy watching some of the independent films, but the one thing I have to say I cannot ignore is just like every now and then you'll see a classy movie where it shows us in a positive light, right? But for the most part, all of the movies on there, for the most part, has an element of our perspective of what wealth looks like and how we get it. And every time if somebody, quote unquote, get in the bag, they got it's like we have to survive in the underworld. It's like, no, there is no, we going out here, we working and we doing this. Everything is, I'm getting this money, how I'm getting it. We out here selling this weight to this connect and this supply. And if you get in our way, you're going to get shot with the crew across the town. It's like the whole thing is consistent of sex, cars, sex, and power of some sort. That's all we do. And it's just like, it's sad to say, it's like you all have this platform for the arts where you can make a difference. But I understand some of them are saying, well, this is my story. But the sad thing is that story seems to be mass. It's it's just like there is no distinction. It's just like, I don't care what city I see movies coming out of Detroit, Buffalo, all of these cities that are making these movies, but all of them have the same street story. And it's just like, wow, like, dude, it just makes me kind of sad to feel like we haven't seen anything but that. And that's all we can depict. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man.
There's a whole lot of New Jack City going on around here.
That's it. That's totally it.
Scarface, all that going on.
That's
society going on around here.
Yeah.
So I want to add on to that because that's the influence. They looking at it. They visualizing it. They seeing it on TV. They hearing the rap music. They hearing it. I mean, we all, we didn't listen to it. Come on now, we all like it, But it's just to the fact that when the lyrics is going, is about shooting, killing, drinking lean, and all that. And these young kids hear that and they want to do
all
that.
They doing.
That's all they want to do.
They want to emulate.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the streets. It's like we living in a time now where the streets have become our culture. It's like we wearing the uniform of the street. Everything is street. You got your piece. You got this. You got your look. You got your. Everybody looks high. Everybody looks dirty. It's just like a uniform. It's all over the place. And it's just like, wow, man. It's like, man, we in a bad spot.
Oh yeah, it's lost. It's a lost generation. We trying to correct it.
Yeah, y'all doing a good thing, man. It's like it's going to take, like I said, a nation of men to stand up and say, I'm willing to sacrifice to give back or to lend my voice to help somebody. It's going to have to start there as the men will have to set the tone. It's going to have to start there.
You just said it, brother. Sacrifice. It's definitely got to be a sacrifice.
Definitely.
Sacrifice,
who's the Martin Luther King of their generation?
That part.
Give me a second.
Correct.
I'll give y'all a second for y'all to come up with that one. Jesse Jackson, give us a Jesse Jackson of their generation. Give me a Jesse Jackson of their generation.
They get Kanye West.
Whoa.
And see, Toneal will catch some heck because what she's doing is she's shining a positive light on his struggle. Whereas nowadays we're in a society where the black man is being emasculated, period, all over the place.
Oh yeah.
So she's doing the opposite. So this is probably why she's not getting as many female cheerleaders because of that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care how you try to show our struggle. Somebody gonna say, "Who is that? Is that John in there? He don't take care of kids." You're gonna find something in there to discredit somebody that's you know how we do.
But you saying that, now I have a question like, how important is fatherhood?
Man, it's like
now, all that what you just said. How important?
Yeah,
the influence
is fatherhood.
It's everything. And I don't care whether it's to a son or a daughter. I mean, like, because at the end of the day, like, you talking to somebody, I didn't grow up with my biological father. And because of that, I mean, I had a stepdad who loved me, adopted me and everything, but there's still a point where you know what I'm saying? And because of that, I had a lot of rejection issues that I dealt with, abandonment issues that I dealt with, and a lot of the men that I interviewed, they felt the same way. Like, because at the end of the day, one of the guys, he's out of Ohio, and he was saying how he basically did what he saw his father do, meaning his father wasn't around. So then he wasn't around. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know how to be a parent because he didn't know how to be a father because he didn't have a father to show him. Another guy that was out of Delaware said the same thing. He said, the streets were my father, and so when you don't have somebody there showing you how to be a man, if you're a man, or if you're a woman, you need that father figure there loving on you and showing you the right way to be loved. So that way, when you start relationships and stuff, you know what you're looking for. So when you don't have a father in the home, that's a huge void. And most of the men there, it was almost like half and half. A lot of them grew up in a household with their father, but a lot of them didn't. And so from there, many of them, the ones that didn't, said that, they either was exactly like what they didn't have, or because they didn't have a father. That was their motivator to be the best father they could possibly be.
Yeah. Well, I grew up with my father, mom and father in the house. My father made sure that the streets weren't gonna be my father. Now he said he said the streets can be my niece or something like that, but it won't be the father though. It won't be the father or something like that. You go out there and play around a little bit. Come on, it ain't gonna be the father now. So yes, I believe it's very important. It's truly very missed. It's not talked about as much as it should. Period.
Yeah.
So.
That's what's up.
Yeah, you missing guidance, respect, how to be a leader, just how to be a man, how to dress. Ain't nobody in the world I was going to leave out the house with some skinny jeans on and my father. Ain't no way in the hell. No way in the hell my father's going to let me leave out the house. My jeans tighter than my mama's. This is what wasn't gonna happen.
But guess what?
This is what gonna happen.
We in a generation now where the dads and the moms dress like the kids.
Yeah.
So it's a different day. I mean, they dress in the same. And so, like you said, back in our day, because I came up with my parents both in the house too. And so what I saw my father do was he affirmed, he equipped, like I said, he mentored. You saw him go to work. I didn't see my dad. I never saw my dad not come home like he was set up, spend the night out on my mom. I didn't see no abuse. So that put me in a different headspace. But I can imagine places where that was absent, or if you saw that and how that can kind of that can really, really damage a man. And so what men will do is whatever he saw coming up, he records it and he regurgitates it to his life.
Oh,
that's pretty much how it goes.
And I just want to say this right here: a man bag. Ain't no way in hell my father was gonna let me leave the house with a man bag.
There's a couple fellas that's up there now wearing a man bag. That just ain't young folks now.
That's a man purse. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's a purse. There ain't no way. So it's definitely I want to say not talked about. It's just not talked about like it should for a male and a female.
It's not honestly spoken about. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. So, it's a lot of guidance missed out of that, males putting they foot down, teaching them right from wrong, just showing them right from wrong and stuff like that of that nature. And and nowadays it's kind of like, they out there loose, a little too loose, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Too loose. Too loose. Everything loose but the jeans. But
you said it best. If you don't have no guidance, only thing is left is lawlessness. Mm-hmm. So that's what's happening. There ain't no guidance. So if there is no, it's like right now we're seeing our youth live life without bounds. They don't have any kind of bounds. This is like whatever, no structure. We don't care, no respect. We just doing us.
No
that's
fear.
just what it is, man.
When they say it takes a
no
village
fear,
to raise a child.
You took the word right out of my mouth, Miss Jackson. Now,
because you still need the village, and that's the problem now. Though is that the village are afraid of the children. Yes. That's the problem.
Wow.
Because things have went so far to the right or the left. I'm sorry, they don't went so far to the left that the village is afraid of the children. The children, they're running the village and they don't know what they're doing, but everybody is afraid to come out because all the kids got guns and they don't, as you said, they have no fear. So they don't care anything about killing you, your mom, your grandma. Like there is no, like, again, it used to be back in the day, and I'm not that old, but back in the day, there were just certain things that you didn't do. It was just certain levels of respect that you showed for your elders. Now there is no respect. People, they'll cuss you out in front of you know what I'm saying? So that's the issue is figuring out how to reclaim your community.
Yeah. That's what we said earlier about the generations. They getting younger and we are our own solutions.
Yeah.
So we got to come together. You still got to have that village mentality. Like, hey, we got to come because other races have it.
Absolutely.
We the race that don't have the village mentality. We have to get that.
That part. Or reclaim it because we had it. But we got to bring it back.
We do. And I want to ask a question to lead on to that. Like, what can we do? Like, because they stopped a lot of things in the community. That we had community outreach programs, centers that we can go to, especially what we had, went to for sports, go to for to learn other things, other skills. They don't have that no more. Just that you out there with the streets. Like, what can be like one of the main solutions to kind of bring that village back?
I think it really has to start with the whole concept. And somebody on here said, each one teach one and each one reach one, right? Like, at a point, we got to stop making excuses and start making changes because we understand what we don't have. And again, you have to understand you're dealing with somebody who is a utopian mentality. So I'm not focused on the problem. We already know what the problems are. What are we gonna do about them? That's my thing. Like, we can keep on talking about from now that Jesus come back, everything that the black communities don't
all
have.
The problems.
Nobody is disputing that we don't have them. But what are we gonna do? Because while you talking about everything we don't have, our young boys are still dying, or still going to jail, or still killing other people. So what can we start doing? And so to your point, I think there are still, for every bad black person, you got a good black person. Even though the media don't want to talk to you about that person, the media don't want to talk to you about the person who went back to school and got their GED. The media don't want to talk to you about the person who's actually donating their time or their resources. So I think that you have to, because there are still a lot of fundamental resources, even in Chicago. There are a lot of different organizations, and I think we just need to bring those to the forefront, right? Like, instead of always highlighting all the negative things that's going on, then you got to counter that. Everybody that has a microphone, you got a platform, and it's how you choose to use it. Like, everybody wants to constantly, you want to share all of the mess that's going on. Start sharing the positive things. When you got some resources that's positive, then share those things. Like, let the schools know. However it is, there is a way. It's just the fact that I think a lot of people have gotten tired. Like, their spirit is tired. A lot of people have been giving and doing, and every time they turn around, they see that somebody else is getting shot. So they like, well, what difference do it make? But you can't give up. And I think you started out, you asked about who's going to be the next Martin Luther King or the next Jesse Jackson. Here's the difference. It wasn't that everything that they tried to accomplish happened overnight. It was the fact that they had more of a spirit of perseverance. They didn't allow, because they were thrown in jail or spit on or beat down, like, they saw what their goal was, and literally, even if they had to lose their lives in King's case, then that's what he was willing to do for the greater good. We don't want to sacrifice no more. Like, it's like, I'll look after mine, but okay, I'm looking after mine, but if yours ain't under control, then that means mine still ain't all the way safe. So we don't want to look out for each other no more.
That's when we go back to go talk about the village mentality.
Absolutely.
We don't have the mentality. Like Brother Dixon saying, like, hey, we got to get back to that village mentality. You got to regain that
mentality. Because, so the problem, like you're saying, how each generation is getting younger and younger. Like if my mother is only 12 years older than me, you know what I'm saying? Like I saw one TikTok video where the girl was maybe like 12 or so. Her mother was 24 and her mother was 40. You understand what I'm saying? And this was literal ages. And they thought this was cute. And I'm not trying to bring no shame on them or shade. But the point is, the grandma who 40 still want to go out and club. So who is it that's going to teach the granddaughter? Because the 24-year-old. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we got
no big mama, no big daddy no more. None of that no more.
It's really bad. It's really
when
bad.
Big Mama's 42, that's a problem.
But see, and here's another. But here's another problem for let's just say if there were to be some Jesse Jackson or Martin Luther King to emerge. The problem is, number one, if we're honest, sometimes we tend to have an issue as Black men. When we become elevated, we have a greater issue with integrity. Mm-hmm. And so if you can't be someone that they can look to, you're gonna, and especially in this climate that we live in, where you'll get dragged for anything. Yeah. So the problem is, as soon as the person stand up and say, "I'm here to help y'all," oh, you did this, that, and the other, now you shot down, you discredited, you off the platform, and it's just like, wow. So it's like we have to find a way to to combat all of that, and just like you said, persevere and be sacrificial to the cause, and just go in regardless. Because nobody's perfect, but you can speak your piece and keep it moving. That's all you can do is try to help who's going to listen to you. That's all you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just want to talk about the addiction that you have in the book. Mm-hmm. What form of addiction and what harm is it causing in the neighborhood?
Okay. So there were a lot of different types of addictions. And this is what I think I had went through maybe either 7 or 8 interviews before addiction actually was entered into the book. So addiction was not an original question that I had for the men. And one of the men had said to me, he's like, you need to talk about, no, you know what? No, I take that back. I think I asked about addiction. Did I? The point is, I'm sorry, because there was either it wasn't addiction was not a question, or it was, but not certain types of addictions, right? Mm-hmm. Because we have to understand, I think it was the fact that addiction wasn't even a part of a question. Many times when people can't handle pressure, then they run to what helps to make them feel better, which then becomes an addiction. So whether you're talking about, people always want to go with drugs and alcohol, but you don't really talk about pornography. It's an addiction. You don't talk about food. It's an addiction. You got a lot of people that's out here obese because they're running to food. You see what I'm saying? And so where addiction becomes a problem is because now it's hurting your relationships. Like, especially if you are a spouse, you're in the home, but instead of you running to your spouse, you're running to whatever that thing is that you find comfort in, right?
Different vices out there.
Absolutely. And so the problem is breaking up homes. Like, if you got a gambling problem, now you ain't paying your mortgage. You see what I'm saying? If you got a pornography problem, or you're a nymphomaniac, now you got a problem because you stepping out. You know what I'm saying? If you got a food addiction problem, now that's an issue, because now it's stuff with your health. You can't even move around like you need to. You see what I'm saying? And so some people feel that the addictions are because you lack mental fortitude. And that's what a couple different men said. And so they said, well, we don't fall to addiction. But I think that, whether that's right or wrong, I know that there were many men in the book who suffered from addiction because of their inability to handle pressure.
And the one thing that can combat those addictions is counseling. We do not go to counseling. Yeah. Like, counseling is out there. Yeah. Like, not just for like marriage counseling, whatever counseling. You got those different type of addictions, the gambling, pornography, drug. You have those counseling sections.
Well, part of the problem is who it's not a lot of people admitting that they have an
that
addiction.
they have a problem.
You got to admit it first. That's the first thing to admit. You got this. You got to admit. Right.
Yeah.
You got to admit you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, you be drunk every day.
Yeah,
You
I drink a whole fifth.
You think you ain't got no problem.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to
and
admit
again,
that.
but that takes a strength, right? Because now, in order for me to admit that I have a problem, if I'm a man and if I'm admitting I got a problem, that ain't what men do. So again, you have to normalize the fact that weaknesses don't make you weak. Just because you have a flaw, it doesn't make you a weak person. And the problem with most men, again, according to these interviews, men are such prideful creatures and they don't want to admit that there's something I don't have a handle on. There's something that I don't have the answer to, right? And so, you know, and one of the things that also came up was faith. We're talking about counseling, but also faith. A lot of people, the way that they overcame their addiction was when they started having a relationship with God. A lot of them attributed being able to overcome their addiction with picking up a or finding Jesus
or the significant other.
So, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of ways to overcome the addiction, but the point is that it's possible. You don't have to, if you're struggling, like for anybody that's listening, if you're struggling right now and you know that you're struggling, and there's one guy in the book that really hits this home. His name is Vincent. I think he's 39 or 36, something like that. And he's like, I had to look at myself and I saw that I wasn't getting nothing done. And at some point, you got to have a standard for yourself. And when you're not even meeting that standard, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And so you got to be able to hold yourself accountable. So again, we're going back to like these basic foundational principles that every person, man or woman, there should just be some standard foundational principles that you hold yourself to. And when you're not meeting it, it shouldn't have to take somebody else to pull your coattail. You should be able to pull your own coattail.
Yeah.
That's where that mental fortitude come from.
Well,
That part.
You gotta have that strength.
Yeah.
That part. Right, you go.
That part.
I think the real addiction is in denial. I think the things that we do are the vices. Those are just things that we choose to try to, to go out and distract ourselves or become habitual with this, that, and the other. But the real issue is the fact that you don't realize that you have an issue. So as a result of that, you stay in that situation and you continue. Like Toneal said, some people, I've seen some, I'll just say this, even having come up in church myself, and I've heard that a lot of people say, yeah, I went to the church, but I've also seen them come to the church and continue those vices.
Yeah.
Whether it's women,
absolutely.
whether it's coming to church and drinking, that the church works when you believe in the belief system and you choose to hold faith to it. If you don't, if you're just going to be a person in the pews with your vice. You know what I'm saying? And so in all those other things, we just tend to create a distraction in our mind to make us thinking that we're overcoming the addiction because now I'm practicing this. But if we don't address it through the denial, it's not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely lying to yourself.
So
They use it more as like a social.
Yeah.
Instead of coming to get the word.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Just somewhere else to go.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So we definitely have to just try to get the word out, just basically help. We just need everybody to come together. Like you said, everybody that has the mic, in front of them, just let's do something totally different. Just try to get everybody together. I was watching one podcast with the basketball players, and we know how big you all are. All right. We know, they, I don't want to say their name. They retired, but they talking on the mic. And come on, man. Just give us something a little bit more than that.
More than your trophy stories in life and women and all those
exactly.
things back in the day.
Exactly. Y'all had the finance and the voice to bring several people together. I don't want to be looking at your podcast. You got the same rich people. Talk about the same stuff. What about the regular people that's in the community? How about you all just come?
Make a difference.
How about you all come and bring y'all podcast to the community?
Yeah.
So, I'll throw this out there to you guys. Why don't you something like this? I think at some point it would be good. I don't know whether you guys will do it or one of us or whomever, but maybe having a platform where it could be once a month, whenever, but you can call that segment "He Speaks," right? And have a segment where you invite men to call in or to come on the show, just men with all types of issues to come together and talk. and reason about certain things. I think it's empowerment in that when you get men to come together and speak and be able to have other men that won't laugh at them or call them weak or, you a lame. They're going to come together and just be themselves and be transparent. And I guarantee you that thing will grow.
You must have been in our notes, Brother Dixon.
Yeah,
we got that plan for 2023 now. Must have been in our notes.
If I can just add one thing
Thanks
to
a lot.
That's what's up.
Once you get them out here and you get them talking, then get them to move to action. Because I'm all about y'all talking. I'm all about y'all coming and saying, like being transparent and admitting any issues that you have and saying that you need help. But then it has to become that bigger piece, right? Because we can talk all day about the problems that we have, but that's not going to do anything until we start committing to change, right? And not just saying, okay, well, I know I have a problem. Okay, once we know you got a problem, you can start it with you. The change can start with you. Yes. I'm gonna commit, especially if I got a significant other and I'm a father. So my change, me committing, is that I'm gonna get it right with my significant other. I'm gonna get my household right. So that way, because a lot of times it's hard if you done been absent for a while and now you getting it back right. It's hard to just pop back up because now you got it right now. So you got to start there, get your house together, and then start being there for your community. Start showing up for your community. Letting them know, because many of the men voice that saying, hey, the black man should be the presence in the black community. And a lot of times it's events that's going on, but where's the black man at? So we got to figure out how to, or y'all got to figure out, because look, and this is what I was telling the men, like, I can't very well be the face. Obviously, whatever I can do to support, I'm definitely down for that. Like, me and Charles were working on trying to get a summit here, and some of the other guys, they're going to help me to do some summits, take this across the country. But we want to get the summits. We want to get the men talking, getting them seeing each other you see yourself on the screen, you see yourself in the book. But after you finish seeing yourself and after you finish talking, how we gonna move from awareness into action? How we gonna take it to the next level? That's the question that y'all have to answer. I mean, definitely step one is bring it to the forefront. Yeah. But then immediately thereafter, we got to figure out what's the action.
Put action to it. The action plan. The action plan.
Yeah. So we definitely have to do that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
We definitely got to put that together. We gotta. It starts back off with saying that we are our own solutions.
That's it.
We are our own solutions. We got to come. It's like we can't. It's about that action.
Yep.
See that, Toneal? You about that action. We not about that talking over here on the Hourglass Podcast. Yeah. The time is now.
Let's make it do what it do.
The time is now to make the change and flip the script.
Yes, absolutely.
It definitely is. And it's been great talking to you all. You all have been wonderful guests. This has been a deep conversation. Deep.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me.
Wait a minute. Before we go, I got just one last question for you all.
Yes.
Okay.
What would be, if it was a group of kids in here, what advice would you give those young'ums, starting with the lady first?
Okay, so if it's a group of kids, mixed gender or boys, I need to know who I'm talking to.
Black girls, black boys.
Okay, so both genders. Okay, so first of all, I will let them know that the sky is the limit, right? Like, you can do whatever you want to do. You can be whatever you want to be, period. I read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. And in that book, she said one of the worst things that we can ask kids is, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, there's only one answer, right? Like, how many of us as adults have constantly changed what it is that we did? So you always want to encourage children to be whatever, to be the solution, right? So that's one of the main things I would do, is just to tell them, be the solution. Figure out one problem that you think that you can solve and work on solving that.
Okay.
All right, ready to? That was deep.
Right.
You up bat. You up to bat. Right? Bases loaded. You up to bat, brother. Bring them on home.
Right.
Bring them on home.
No, I would tell both the young men and the young women, I would tell them, when you're young and when you're impressionable and you are realizing that you have goals set ahead of you, the only way you're going to get there is through consistency. Like, I don't care. You don't have to be a perfect person, But if you're a consistent person in your practices, you can achieve a lot by being someone that's dependable. Like a lot of nowadays, we lack dependency. We don't have people that are dependable. We just have people that talk and say things, but no one who follows through. So I think if you instill the follow through concept in children earlier, they'll become strong and more productive adults in society later. I think that's what's been missing, you know.
Yes. That's good.
Excellent.
You know, well, personally, I would tell the kids to feed their dreams.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they want to be, however they want to be, must be positive now. We ain't going down the route now.
Yeah.
So whatever they want to do, how they want to be it, just be more educated. Educate yourself on that field, that profession. Ask questions. You know, find a person who's in that field and ask them questions. You know, just don't stop dreaming. You know, don't stop dreaming. There's nothing wrong with dreaming. Everything's come from a dream. You know, everything comes from a dream. So whatever you have, it might not sound good to the next person because it's not supposed to, because it's your dream. It's
your dream. That's it.
It's your dream. So
mission.
Right. So feed your dream.
Own your dream.
Own your dream. Own your dreams and feed that dream. Get the knowledge of it. Yeah. Don't stop pushing. You know, as hard as it's going to be, it might be. It's supposed to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Anybody making millions of dollars. Use it as easy. So, you know.
Use it like a flashlight. Use it like a flashlight and keep it in front of you.
There you go. And it don't matter what level. I don't care if you want to be a police officer, a firefighter. Find you a policeman. Find you a fighter. Ask questions about it and pursue it. So, you know, to me, just feed your dreams.
And I was wanting to add to that. It's like nowadays you got people saying, I got out the mud. You know, ain't nobody help me. That's why it's big to have mentorships. Mentorships. You don't want to go that route. You hear it, you know, they hear it on TV, hear it in the music. Got it out, get it out the mud. I don't need no help. No, mentorships. Mentorships, definitely. Reach out. Like Radar said, reach out to somebody that's in your profession. Reach out. You can be whatever you want to be. Everything came from a dream. We talking right now from a dream.
Yeah.
We doing this right now. This is dream right now into reality.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it is.
That's good.
So I definitely appreciate you all joining us. Yes.
We got to do this again sometime, y'all. We got to come back and visit, y'all.
We do.
Oh, it's not over. It's just a bit. You thought it was over now. It's
round one.
That's it.
It's round one. This is all this was right there.
This is book one.
Because we got to talk about that Love Talk Radio now, Dr. Love over there. We got to talk about that.
Love Talk Radio.
Unique perspective now. I got it.
Okay. Right up my alley. Right up my alley.
I know that's right.
That's going to be on the next chapter of her book. Right up rated our alley. That's what that chapter going to call.
Right. Oh,
much success to you and that. Much success to you.
Oh, wow. Definitely. Now, today I want to ask you, can you tell everybody out there how to reach you? Out their social media platform, website, anything you got going on.
And how to get this beautiful book.
What we ain't going to do is talk about what I got going on, because I got a billion things going on. That's a whole
This is the only thing. That's what we ain't get into politics yet. We ain't get into politics yet.
No, we ain't talking about that. No, but for real, if you all want to connect with me, you can do so. I'm pretty much on every social media platform. You got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, YouTube. You can find me at My Name is Toneal. You can go to my website if you want to connect with me there. And my website is mynameis.toneal.com. That's my name is TONEAL.com. In terms of what I have coming up, if people want to connect with me, I am an empowerment specialist. So I'm a life coach, a lit coach. I just launched a group on Facebook that's called Educated and Empowered. That's also the name of my podcast. So that's what I'm all about doing. I'm trying to get people educated and empowered so they can do that. And finally, I have an event that's coming up on January 14th that's called Get in Alignment with Your Assignment. So if you want to know more about that, go to the website. mynameis.toneal.com.
Empowerment.
Oh, and the book. I'm sorry.
The book.
My bad. So for anybody who wants to now, that is one of 18. I got 18 books that I've written. But this is the latest book. Being a black man is harder than you think. For your copy, you can either go to the website, my name is Toneal.com, or you can go to Amazon. You go to Amazon, you can get it in Prime shipping. I'm not going to get it to you in 2 days. So Amazon,
Same day.
right? You know what I'm saying? So any of the .coms, Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Target, I'm on all of that. Ooh. So yeah, just go to Amazon.com, get your, and you can actually just Google my name, Toneal M. Jackson, and all my stuff will pop up.
Empowerment specialist.
That's what she do.
International award-winning author right there.
Do I need a pen and paper when I come to that class? I don't know. What do you bring to empowerment?
Man, you bring an open heart and an open mind.
Bring your pamphlet.
And then get ready to walk out on fire.
That is. Oh, Mr. Kyrie Irving. Since you posting things out here, Kyrie Irving, come on and post this book right here.
Man, will you post
that?
Take an excerpt. Get my film, please. Put it on.
You will not lose nothing else by posting this.
You post this.
That part.
They might take his uniform away that day.
It's a lot going on surrounding that. Wow. Now, Brother Charles Dixon, let everybody know how they can reach you out here, sir. How they can get in your place or your radio show platform. Let us know.
Yeah, so in terms of my radio show, you can just kind of Google Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio. Or if you want to find most of my content, just Google the hashtag UPLTR. UPLTR, and you'll probably find tons of my content, different posts, different shows, different things like that. But in terms of, I'm on Instagram and all the other platforms and Facebook. On Instagram, it's I am Charles Dixon. On Facebook, Charles Dixon. Twitter, Charles Dixon. You know, if you on YouTube, Unique Perspectives Love Talk Radio, you'll see a lot of my shows and things there. I won't get into my music. We do that another show.
You like Miss Jackson now. You like Miss Jackson with his extra stuff now.
We don't just do one thing up in this piece. We
talented guests up here now.
Y'all need to know.
Let's call him Sweat. Let's call him Sweat.
I guess you would have some music. The Love Doctor. I guess you would. You put him to bed, huh? You put him to bed, all right? We got some talented guests up here.
Great, excellent guests. We bring that thunder on the Hourglass Podcast. The time is now. Now, from each of you, I want to get one thing for you all to say. I'm gonna start off with you, Toneal. That you rocking with say your name, state your name.
Toneal M. Jackson.
Yep, and as you rocking with the #1 podcast.
Oh, so I got you. So I'm gonna put them above me, okay? I'm gonna put them above me.
The card
so
right there.
No, I don't need a card. She's a professional
She's an empowerment.
This is what I do. My name's Toneal M. Jackson. I'm rocking with the Hourglass Podcast. The time is now with your boy B-Lo and Rated R. And I want to thank them so much for allowing me to come on the #1 podcast. I'm taking notes so that Educated and Empowered can step up and be big like them when we grow up.
The time is now.
All
right, now, Charles. She got something for you now. First take now.
Bases loaded. All right. Black man, bring us home. Black man, bases
loaded.
Quiet on set.
You know, black women always want to put pressure on us.
Listen up. Yes. Listen up, everybody. You are listening to Chicago's #1 podcast. That's Hourglass Radio. Look forward to them becoming worldwide as we are speaking that into the atmosphere this day. All right, fellas, enjoyed you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate that. You all coming on the Hourglass Podcast. The time is now. This has been B-Lo. Rated R, cocked and loaded.
In the building, baby.
There you go. The lovely Toneal M. Jackson.
That's me.
All right, now. And you got the life coach, Charles Dixon. Got it?
Yeah, it is.
All right, fellas.
There you go. Man. And we up out of here. This has been our topic: who, what, when, where, and we are our own solution.
Go get the book now.
Get that book now. Definitely. Thank you all, and we up out of here. The time is now.
Thank you for listening to the Hourglass Podcast. The time is now. Shoot us an email at info@hourglasspodcasting.com to submit questions and to become a future guest. It's our time. Now, let's make the best of it.
Brought to you by GTB Medical Services, touching lives one device at a time.
Classy Image Barbershop, Chicago, Illinois. Get there.